folks, how y'all doing? We're gonna be working on this little John Deere D140. As you can see me pulling in there, it is very hard to steer. Obviously there's oil leaks everywhere. This thing is a doggone mess. It's not been taken care of. Yes, I do know the right front tire was flat. It wasn't when it was dropped off, but it is just very hard to steer. Y'all stick around. I'm gonna pop this hood off and raise it up so we can take a look, and that way it'll be easier for you guys to see how we're gonna fix this machine. Y'all stick around. Okay, so we've got it raised up in the air. What we're gonna do, look at there, it's only flat on one side. I'll be. What we're gonna do is we're gonna first pop this tie rod off. You'll hold with a wrench here, take your ratchet, take this loose. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Typically what I've found is generally not up in the steering wheel area. Generally, due to lack of grease, these will get stopped up and gummed up with the grease and whatnot. So let me pop these loose right quick and we'll see if it's this side or that side, and I'll show you how to fix it. Once you got that nut off, now that's out of the way. Let's just screw that nut back on there so you don't lose it, because you know, you may be working out there in the grass and the ground or whatever, and that way at least you'll know where it's at. Ooh, this one wasn't even tight. Let's pop it off. These guys will get really tough to steer. Obviously this one hasn't had maintenance done on it like it should. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab, yeah, see that's tight to steer. Let's see what this one feels like. Oh, that one, it won't even turn any further. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and pop these rubber caps off. We're gonna get these grease fittings popped out of there, and I'm gonna get these tires off. Sometimes you have to heat these things up. Sometimes they'll come on off of there. Yep, I gotta heat that one up. Give me a second, let me get a heat gun. Summertime, these usually come off a little easier. It's cooler weather. It's a bit different. A little warming up. Get this tire out of the way. Try not to destroy the yellow cap. I might do it. Let's see what'll happen. Oh yeah. It moves. Throw it across the shop, don't worry about it. Now in here, there's an E-clip, and it'll go bing across the shop. You don't want to do that. And this tool won't get in there. Well, maybe it will. Maybe not. Let me get a screwdriver. You know, if I had all the tools prepared and ready to go, y'all wouldn't be sitting there going, where'd he go? Well, here I am. There's your E-clip. Nice and greasy. And even these wheels, you can tell, look how nasty. That's just, hard grease in there. So we'll address that while we got this thing apart. Let's see will this one pop off. Nope, we got to heat that one up too. Y'all stand by, I'm gonna pop this one off and get something so y'all are sitting there waiting to get this grease fitting. Stand by just a second. So, got that one off. You can see that grease, I mean, it's just, that's hard grease. That's the problem. So let's pop this E-clip off. Get it out of the way. E-clip. Now we'll need a 5/16 or 8mm for this grease fitting. Now you can sit there and try to pump some more grease and just keep working it and working it and working it, and it may or may not fix it. Sometimes you can if they're not too bad. I've seen enough of these. This one's pretty bad. So we're going to end up taking this completely apart and clean it all up. There's so much grease that doesn't even want to come off. Look at this. See how hard? Look at that. That is tough stuff right there. Now sometimes you have to take your little propane torch or oxyacetylene torch and heat these up to get them out. Sometimes we could spray some lube, grab it and just work it and finally get it out, and then we'll just clean it all up, put it back together. So y'all stand by a second. Let me get some lubricant and we're going to try that way first. All right, so I got a little WD-40 and some brake cleaner. I'll try not to get too extremely nasty. I'm going to start out with a little brake cleaner in here. I don't know if that's going to soak in at all or not. Maybe you want to use WD-40 first. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it to work its way out. Nope, I can tell you right now, we're going to have to get the torch after this one. We're going to see about getting a torch after this. What you got to be careful of, all this grease and oil, boy, that can catch on fire really easy. Okay, so we're going to get this thing heated up to get it off. I moved to the other side, if you notice, because there's so much grease. I got my lovely wife standing by back there with the fire extinguisher. You can use one of these. It'll just take a minute, okay? It'll take a little while longer, a lot while longer actually. But we're going to fire this up with a torch and see if we can make this thing happen. This is going to take a few minutes. I may pause you through here. May pause you through the video. Be sure you're wearing some safety glasses. All that good stuff, because it is bright. See, there's my proof. So we're going to heat this up, and let's try not to start a fire. Once this gets good and hot, a lot of times that grease will start just oozing out of that fitting. And I just got me a little cheater pipe on over here. And what it's going to do is just help me start twisting this back and forth. So y'all give me a few minutes here and you'll be able to see. We'll get this thing on out of there. I can see the smoke coming out of the hole already. Let's see what, oh, it's already moving easier. Look at that. All right, I'm not going to bore y'all with making you sit there and watch this, so I'm going to pause you and I'll be right back with you. Just going to leave it playing. And are we rolling again? so now we got both sides out. I'll show you on the other side. I got a light over there. See how rusty now? All nasty, rusty grease and all burnt up. See if you can see a little better the rust down inside there. And this. So now we just go get a wire brush and clean this shaft up, clean the part that the wheel goes on, and clean that out, and I'll be right back with you. All right, after a little while with a wire brush on a drill, you can tell that's, it's about wore out, but use this to clean the inside out. Got this looking a lot better. And I always, even bone dry, I want this thing to go in. Look at there how easy that moves. Now what we're gonna do before we put this together, we're gonna get us some grease, and we're gonna grease it up a little bit, even before we slide it in there. Don't be afraid to get it on your fingers. You'll be all right. It's not gonna hurt you. I think I heard Jeremy say it earlier today. He had a spot of grease. That's Mower Medic 1. Y'all go check him out. He had a spot of grease on his forehead. And his comment was, well, if you're not getting dirty, you ain't even working. So I thought that was about true. And we're gonna clean some of this off. This I ain't too worried about, this washer. The main thing is that steering works easy is what we're after. Now all we got to do is see if we can fling the E-clip all the way across the shop. And then you go hunt it down. That's always fun. Here are pliers. And there she is, y'all. Customer's gonna like that. So let's get a grease fitting back in. And this one was only in by about 2 doggone threads, and I ain't sure if something's stripped or I need to put a new grease zerk in it or what. We're gonna see there. Now she seems to be going in there pretty good. Don't ever tighten those, because you wring them off and then you're going to be sitting there having fun with a doggone easy out trying to get that straightened out, and that'll be a whole nother mess to deal with. And let's put a little grease to it. Now you can see it's starting to ease out down here. Anytime you're greasing your machines too, wipe those grease fittings off first. That way you're not forcing dirt and stuff in there. Well, look at that. You know, that's just, you can't beat it. It's not really important what kind of grease. We use a particular brand, and just because it's what one of our suppliers supplies. So now we're going to see if we can heat this up and burn our fingers. You know, if you don't have a heat gun, I bet your wife's got a hair dryer. When you go borrow your wife's hair dryer to do this, make sure your hands are really greasy and stuff. No, don't do that. You'll be in deep, deep trouble. Somebody will be fussing at me then for sure. That looks pretty warm. There we go. There it is. Look at that. Now let's just slide our wheel back on. And it's got a grease fitting also. We're going to grease that up too. Slide your wheel back on. It's going to flop around. E-clip. Then we're going to fix a flat tire. Looks like me. They don't ride so good. I don't know. Can y'all even see what I'm doing here? I'm doing something real complicated. Putting the tire back on, right? Let's see if I can fling this one across the shop. Nope. All right, let me heat that cap up and get that back on, and I'll Only other thing we got to do is hook this tie rod back in. It's pretty simple. We knew where our nut was because we put it back on the end right there now, didn't we? All right, let me get this tightened up, buttoned up, and we'll see if this bad boy steers any easier. Y'all stand by for me. All right, let's see what this looks like now. Still got a flat tire to fix over there. One finger. Ooh, they go like that. That's just too easy. Look at there. All right, get the hood back on this thing. We're going to see how it drives with some weight on the tires. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in to Rayleigh's Small Engines. Y'all go ahead and click that subscribe button. We hope this video will help someone out that can't steer their mower. Y'all click that subscribe, click the bell, give us one of those thumbs up if you liked it. We'll see you guys next time. Let's see if this thing will run.